Ba weep grana weep nitty bong. I'm Engineer Hoist. Welcome to the weekly Transformers Earth Wars news stream. We also do some crystal cracking and a whole bunch of other Transformers discussions right here on my channel. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I go live or post a new video. And come on back. Got a lot of good chat going on there in the stream. I still can't get this whole backwards monitor thing going. About 4 stars and 5-star bots that you guys are getting, and it's a fitting discussion because tonight I have enough shards for a 4-star crystal, and there's a high likelihood that it's going to be a duplicate bot, which would give me enough shards for a 5-star crystal, so we might be opening a 5-star crystal tonight, guys. So hang on to that thought, because first we got to get some shout outs. Let's go ahead and say hi to Wreck-It Rule 21, Pete Francis Jr., Sharksy, Grand Galvatron's here, Typical Grimlock, Denny's Creek, Mr. Top Pokemon, Big D. You're going to get a shout out a little bit later and you'll see why a little bit. John Beekman, and let's see, who else do we have? Raphael Gamers, Jonathan Carrillo, It's Laura, Soundbot, the Quantum Bot, Gus, Britt, Woody. We got a whole bunch of people, a lot of new faces, a lot of returning faces, and I thank each and every one of you. So now let's get to the reason why we're all here and talk about the Transformers Earth Wars news. Now I gotta tell you, there's not a whole lot of news this week. We just had that big leaderboard event last week where people fought for Rook and Blot. Hopefully you got at least a 2-star of those guys and are putting them to use. But this week, it's called Back to Basics. And typical after a big leaderboard event, it's going to be a nice, easy individual event where you can win up to 3.4 million Energon, 20,000 Spark, 2,000 Premium Crystal Shards, 1,400 3-star shards, and 600 4-star shards. Plus, there's also ability to win a Bronze, Silver, and Gold G1 Power Core chips. And as is usually the case with these, if you want to go the extra mile, you can open and unlock Final Thrust crystals. If you played these kind of events before, you know what's in those Final Thrust crystals. So they have changed them up a little bit, and we'll talk about them. Sonic Slash just subscribed. Welcome to the channel. Good to have you here. Big Bronze Rim just joining the stream. Good to see you, my friend. Okay, so like I said before, this is an individual totalizer. It starts on the usual time on Friday, ending Sunday/Monday, depending on your time zone. And there's no prestiges. It's just one big, long totalizer. And as always, triple XP when battling in the event. How do you participate? Just like every other event, you got to be headquarters level 4, but since it's an individual event, you don't have to be in an alliance. Tap the event button, select the battle zone that you want, win the battle and get battle points, collect enough battle points, and you can win prizes. The battle zones, as shown here, are the standard battle zones. It's not the flat 10 points per battle zone, so you'll see these points as you go play this event. And here's a listing of the prizes and the total points that you need to score to collect all of them. There's going to be prizes at multiple different levels, but these are the point values that you need to reach to collect 100% of that type of prize. For example, if you get to 1,000 points, you will have collected all of the premium shards at 3 different levels. And there's 5 different levels to win a Final Thrust Crystal, but if you get to 50,000 points, you will have reached all 5 of them. In fact, you'd have gotten everything on this list if you hit 50,000 points. And if you do get to 50,000 points, hats off to you, because that's quite an accomplishment. And yes, 15,000 points individually to collect a gold G1 Power Core. It's a gold G1 Power Core. It's a pretty good prize, so I think it's a little fair to have it a little bit higher. Certainly better than an Avatar, which they easily could have done, giving us just another Prime Avatar, which I know that's not a popular prize. Okay, so there's the Final Thrust crystals. They have thrown Power Core chips in occasionally, but this time it's all Spark. You can get anywhere from 5,000 up to the grand prize of 100,000 in a single Final Thrust crystal, meaning that if you were super lucky and luck was just shining on you, got all 5 of them at 100,000, you could get as much as 500,000 spark from this event. The chances of that are probably 0.000 off down to infinity 1. So I don't see that happening. Most likely you'd get 25,000 with 5,000 5 times. But, you know, hopefully you get something better. But even so, 25,000 spark above what you get in the event is still pretty nice, because spark is helpful to level up those abilities and can be hard to come by. Okay. There was a little mention of a Prime League special event, and since that doesn't really apply to most of us here, I kind of omitted that. But just know, if you happen to be in one of the top alliances and are battling in the Prime League, you probably get the newsletter, so you probably already know about this. And there is a special event going on, and you can get those details. If you don't get the newsletter, you can ask one of your alliance mates, or you can join me out on my Discord channel. I'm putting a link in the description, and I'll be happy to share it with you. But one thing they did also not really announce, it's more like remind. In fact, it was kind of news to me because I didn't even really think about it up until now. But they do have wallpaper available that you can use on your computer or your mobile device over in their wiki. And this is one of the examples that I saw. Most of the wallpaper are the loading screens, the various loading screens that you see when the game first opens. Yeah, they have versions of all of those. And then there's a handful of other ones. This one is one I don't recall seeing before. I'm sure I haven't just forgot about it. But I thought it was really cool. Megatron sitting on a throne of Energon cubes. So that's why I threw that up here as an example. And then also used that as the thumbnail because it's cool. I mean, come on, that is really cool, right? So there you go. And there's no live stream tomorrow. Ignore the date on this slide. I noticed it at the last minute. That date is in the past, but there will be one next week. That's going to be July 11th at the usual time it's noon my time in the Eastern Standard Time zone, and I'm sure you guys can do the math from that. So you can use the 4 p.m. UTC. It will be that, but it will be July 11th, 7-Eleven. So if you happen to have one of those 7-Eleven convenience stores in your area, head over there, grab yourself a free tiny little Slurpee, and go watch the Transformers Earth Wars live stream. All right, so we do have a couple more slides we'll get back to in just a minute, but I forgot what I was going to move on to before that. But okay, let's go ahead and see what you guys are saying in here. Grand Galvatron says there's an alternate image of that showing Grimlock over Megatron's body parts after he ate him. Oh, really? That would be cool. Which batch are we going to go for the 5-star crystal? Hey, that's a good topic before we actually get to it. I do want to cover this other thing on these slides before we get to it. But let me go ahead and switch over to the game. So if we manage to get... So we do have a few other crystals to crack too, because we got the VIP crystals, so we've got 20 premium crystals. I've got 10 Autobot, 10 Decepticon, plus some Guardian crystals, which has 3, 4, and 5-star shards in them. But you can see there, I already have the 4-star crystal, and I am one duplicate away from a 5-star crystal. So that leads me to the decision. Do I go with Legacy 1? Which includes bots such as Grimlock, Silverbolt, Gnaw, Hot Rod, or Sunstreaker. Do I go with Legacy 2 for a second time, because I've already got Skyburst out of this one, so that leaves Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, Drift, and Windblade. Or do I go with Legacy 3? I've got Cheetor out of this one, that leaves Ultra Magnus, Jazz, Springer, and Firefly. Do I go with Legacy 4? I already have Prowl out of this one, that leaves Elita 1, Blaster, Sludge, and Ratchet. Or do I take my chances with the latest crystal, which has the possibility of Snarl, Rodimus Prime, Warpath, Perceptor, and RC. Now, I appreciate all of the suggestions, but sorry to say, I've already kind of made up my mind on this, and I'll explain why. So if we go look at my team, currently I have Cheetor, Skyburst, and Prowl. I have a little special guy in Cheetor, who's awesome, by the way, but then my other two, Skyburst and Prowl, are gunners. I don't want another gunner. Okay? So that basically rules out everything but those 2 batches that those came from, because every other batch has a gunner, and I could end up with another gunner. Now, Sunstreaker is good. Warpath, I haven't used much, but I think he's probably going to be pretty good as a 5-star. Let's go back in here, and who was the other one? Jazz. Jazz would be a good gunner as well. However, I don't want another gunner. So that really boils it down to just Legacy 2, which has a chance at Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, Drift, and Windblade. Now, if we look at these bots, you've got Optimus Prime, who is a real prize. You've got Wheeljack, who is a healer. And then you've got Drift and Windblade, who are both warrior-style bots that you can direct one way or another, which is pretty good. Now, I don't think you could really go wrong with any of these bots. But then you've also got Legacy 4. We've already got Prowl. You've got Elita 1, who is, I think, the prize 5-star out of all of the 5-stars. And you've got Ratchet, who is a healer, basically equivalent to Wheeljack. The only difference is their ability, but I don't ever really use their abilities, so as far as I'm concerned, they're equivalent. And then you've got Blaster and Sludge. Strong warrior bots, but you can't direct them where you go. When you deploy their abilities, they stay put and throw it. So, very similar types of bundles to choose from, but slight differences. And I'm telling you now, this is what I'm going with. I'm going to pull Legacy 4. Hopefully it's actually going to, with all this build-up, hopefully that 4-star dupe is actually a duplicate, so I can actually pull this tonight with all you guys here. If not, hey, we're going to get a new 4-star, and then well, I'm only down to just a handful, and they're all good. But this is what I'm going for, because I would love to have that Elita 1, and any of these other bots I think are actually good. The other Legacy crystals, there's a chance I could be disappointed if I get another gunner, because even though those gunners are good, like I said, I've already got 2. So there you go. So that's my choice. I'm going to go Legacy 4, assuming that's a duplicate. But we're going to get to that in a little bit. I want to go back to one last little thing here that a few weeks ago, I believe it was the Survival Instinct event, where we were talking about Blades and Dirge, and that was the week where they kind of leaked that Trypticon and Metroplex image a little bit early, and I kind of went on a little bit of rant. And old Big D, shout out to Big D there, who said, who called it, it really grinds my cogs. He said that would be a good title for it. So, well, I got another little rant here. It's very small. I'm not really super upset about this, but I felt like I wanted to address this. And this may be one of you guys who's watching. I blurred out the name because I don't want to call out anybody. And if it is you, don't pipe up, because you'll be giving yourself away. And I'm trying to avoid that, okay? But basically, we've got... Every alliance has requirements, right? But some of them are wide open. Our alliance, NonToxic Gamers, has a requirement. It's stated in the alliance description. It's got to be Headquarters 11, 2,800 medals. We get a lot of requests, probably from you guys who are fans who want to hang out, and I appreciate that. But we do have some requirements. If you play the game a little bit, you build yourself up, then you can apply and you can join. But one thing you definitely don't want to do is, when you get declined, come back and be mean about it. This is the same person. These are just the last 3 responses from declines. There was at least a couple of them beforehand, where Headquarters 542 medals, not even close to meeting our requirements. And we always put in the reason for declining in the description. And it may be something that you don't realize when you are declined. If they write something to you, as they probably should, it tells you why you're declining. So it may be the case of this person's just not reading it, and they think it's just being mean. The thing I think is funny is the fact that they're trying to throw the guilt out there, saying, "Oh, you're being toxic because we're non-toxic alliances." No, we're just enforcing our alliance requirements there. So and it says something feels like it's 1993. I'm not sure what that's about. If you're out there and that's a traumatic experience in your life, I'm really truly sorry about that, and I hope you can get over it and move on. And like I said, in one of the declines is you got to level up, but unfortunately, this kind of response kind of rules you out because because this is kind of mean. It's not terrible. They didn't throw out any true curse words or anything like that, but it's not a very good indication of being a good Alliance member. So that's why I kind of wanted to come to this first before the crystals, because it's kind of a negative thing. So anyway, let's get back to some crystal cracking, okay? All right, some crystal cracking. I'm going to go ahead and grab that 4-star crystal before we get over there. I was waiting to get it because I didn't want to accidentally open it, guys. All right? But here we go. First thing we've got some Guardian crystals. It says it contains 3, 4, and 5-star shards. This is one of the VIP gifts. In fact, everything except the 4-star crystal was one of the VIP gifts that they gave us on Monday. So we'll go through these Guardian crystals. There's some 5-star shards. That definitely helps our cause. Some more 3-star shards. 4-star shards. Some more 4-star shards. 3-star shards. 4-star shards. Ooh, 54-star shards. That's pretty nice. 3 stars. There's some more 5-star shards. Last one gives us some 4-star shards. Alright, so well on our way to the next 4-star. Denny's Creek, I did see your Discord friend request. I just haven't had a chance to respond to that yet. Busy day at work and busy day preparing for the stream, and now here we are. I'll get to you a little bit later. Don't worry about that. So we've got, let's go through the premium crystals first. I see you guys calling. Let's open the 4-star first, but I always like to save the best thing for last. You gotta build up to something, so because after the 4-star crystal or possibly 5-star crystal, if they then go through the premium crystals and get a bunch of 2-star sea sprays, that'd be kind of a letdown there, So let's go through these Decepticon premium crystals and see what we get. We got a Rodimus Unicronus. Just recently got that guy as a 3-star, actually. So that's pretty cool. Fantastic toy. I'm sure if you guys have been here a while, he actually made my top 10 of the 2018 list that I did back in January. There's a drag strip. I think we just passed a Gnaw. Interesting thing, you can only get Gnaw for your main faction, because I don't have Gnaw on the Decepticon squad, but yet he still came up as the duplicate there. And that's fine. And there's Scourge. Recently just got him as a 3-star as well. I think I mentioned that in that last Blades crystal cracking video. Nemesis Prime. Breakneck. I saw Grand Galvatron saying how he doesn't really like that bot earlier in the chat. Duplicate Barricade. Why was I thinking Barrage? Barricade. Man, Barrage. That was one of those G1 Deluxe Insecticons. One of those funky colored ones. Not the original 3. Ooh, 3-star Hunger. There's a Mixed Master. Last Decepticon Premium Crystal gives us a duplicate. That looks like a dead end. 3-star dead end. When they're all kind of hologrammy in the Space Bridge, it's a little hard to tell dead end from Wild Rider / Breakneck. Kind of like Skywarp and Thundercracker look very similar there. So go ahead and grab the new crystal. Pretty sure that's a 3-star crystal. So I'll grab that on my Decepticon side. That's where I usually use my 3-star crystals. And since we were on the on the Decepticon kick. Let's go ahead and crack that one. It's just a duplicate Skull Smasher. Okay, well that's cool. Same result as if it would have been an Autobot 3-star. And let's run through these 10 Autobot Premium Crystals. See if we can get a new 4-star out of this batch before we actually crack this 4-star crystal. Wouldn't that be crazy? You guys asking, how do you get VIP in the Transformers Earth Wars? Grand Galvatron's got it, although it's slightly paraphrased from what I say every time. I say spend way too much money. Way too much money. That's what I say. It's not published. There may be other requirements. It's not really known. But yeah, that's generally the consensus, is that spend way too much money. There's old pipes there. Last Cyan says Decepticon account is 50 shards short of another 5-star. Gotten 4 new 4-star cons since that last shard event. Maybe now is when I'll get that hotspot. Maybe, yes, we are chasing a 4-star hotspot, and he is one of the 5 4-stars that I have yet to get that are available in this 4-star crystal. So I kind of answered your question there, Woody. Well, I am missing more than 5, but only 5 are available in this 4-star crystal because some, like Rook, are not available in the normal one yet. If I recall, it is Ultra Magnus, Sandstorm I think just got out there, Goldfire just got out there, Windblade, and Hotspot. Those are the only ones available for me in that 4-star crystal. I can double check. I'm pretty sure it's those 5. Power Magna. You haven't even really been paying attention to who's going through here because they're all dupes. there's her buddy Jumpstream. Fellow Rust Renegade / Torchbearer. And the last Autobot Premium Crystal gives me Rodimus Prime. Okay, so you guys want to go check real quick? You guys asked. I was just going to go open it, but you're like, oh, who you got left open? Or maybe I was reading into it a little bit too much. Okay, so 4 stars. We've got Ultra Magnus, Cybertron Jetfire. He's not available yet. There's Windblade. Impactor is not available yet. Streetwise is not available yet. Sandstorm is available. Goldfire is available. Rook, definitely not available. And then Hotspot. So those are the bots that could be coming from that 4-star crystal. And right now you guys are all saying, just do it! So we will. Let's go Space Bridge. In 3, 2, 1. Boom. There's the duplicate. Dust up. That was actually my last 4-star duplicate. That's a good duplicate to get. Look at all that combiner spark. Oh, look. There's a number 5 over there. What could that be? Let's make sure we're very careful about where we tap here, guys. Okay. So let's see. We're about 20 minutes into this stream. What I'm going to do is the stream is still going, but I'm going to hit the record button, and I'm actually going to post just this 5-star crystal opening as a separate video. So if you guys want to go see it again, you can. If not, that's fine. It would save people from having to go all the way through. All right, so here we go. Hopefully this doesn't stop anything. If you see anything go away, hang on. I'll be right back. Okay, I think we're recording, so... Ba Weep Grana Weep Nitty Bong, I'm Engineer Hoist, and we're here live during my weekly stream on Wednesday with all of my friends in the chat. We're here ready to see me crack open my 4th 5-star crystal. So let's go ahead and get to it. Trying to find the right button. So there we are. We've got the 5,000 5-star shards ready for it. I've already laid out why I'm choosing the 5-star Legacy 4. If you want to see that, go back and watch that stream, and you'll actually get a replay of this crystal opening because we're doing it live here. So there we go, 5-star Legacy 4, which gives us a chance at Elite 1, Blaster, Sludge, and Ratchet, because I already have Prowl out of this batch. Suspense is killing me too, Grand Galvatron, and let's do it. Here we go. It's lighting up. There we go. It is Sludge. All right. Very cool. Very cool. I was hoping for Elite 1 because she is absolutely the prize of all of the 5 stars, but I would have been happy with anybody. I'm super happy with Sludge. I love my 4-star Sludge. And this 5-star Sludge, he is just going to be a monster. He is practically unkillable. And on top of that, as you can see it, he also adds to my Dinobots collection total. So now I'm only missing 2 of the Dinobots, which are the other 5 stars actually, Grimlock and Snarl. So it's going to be quite a while before I can even have a chance at going after those guys. Especially since my next few 5-star crystals are still going to be on this Legacy 4 unless a future batch happens to come out with something even better than Elite 1. Alright, and so that's going to do it for the video, but not the stream. All you guys watching live, hang out for a minute. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends. We'll see you next time. And the recording is done. Thanks for sticking around, guys. 5-star Sludge. What do you think about that? Brayshawn Baker saying Sludge Dynamite. Big Bronze Rim wants Blaster. Yeah, I think Blaster probably would have been my second choice, but Sludge would definitely be my third choice. So, let's see. Such a tank bot to get. Yes, absolutely. My 4-star Sludge almost never dies. And he just walks. He just slowly walks. Probably the only drawback with this guy is his ability is kind of situational. The walls have to be in the certain position for him to even really get any benefit out of using his ability. Otherwise, he's just a super strong, practically unkillable tank, just plowing through the defenses, which is still a good bot to have on your squad there. So yes, super happy with this, but I would have been super duper happy with Alita. But yes, very, very happy with that guy. So there we go, and you can see him kind of materializing behind the headquarters over here. It's kind of glowing. Look at him over there. Oh, yes. There we go. Just taking a walk. That's about how fast he moves during the battles, too. But there's just no slowing him down. Well, I mean, he's level 1 right now, so he probably wouldn't last very long. But once you get him leveled up a certain way, and I probably just killed the microphone with that little yell. But once you get him leveled up a fair ways, he's going to be quite the monster. Let's see. Jonathan Creo's taking off. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Elite 1 Blaster way better. Elite 1 definitely way better. Blaster a little bit better. Sludge is still good. Ratchet's good too, but I don't use healers that much. I have the healers, and I have them on the teams, and they usually do help out. But my strategy is not usually around. You know, it's not a top level strategy. The top level strategy, you definitely want the healers, and if you want to see those kinds of videos, definitely go check out Alpha Prime. He's definitely one of the top players. He's in, I think it's Prime Union, one of the top alliances in the game, so they definitely know the strategies for the top bases. But I'm not usually challenging the top bases, so I can usually get by pretty well with or without a healer. So, what are the Sludge 4-star stats? Yeah, that'd be a pretty good thing to check. So, he's pretty high up here. Yeah, so there you can see he's nearly level 50, and I've got him at level 5 ability. I definitely would take the ability a little bit higher, except I've got other priorities as far as ability goes. And yeah, he does some pretty darn good damage. And his health is really the thing where he does. I mean, he's not the highest damage, but he's definitely high health. And if you last longer without dying, you can cause more damage that way. So you may not do as much damage per second, but you can do damage for more seconds. Is really how it works out with the higher health. I don't know if I've ever heard it put that way, and I kind of just came up with that on the spur of the moment, but it makes sense. So you have the high damage per second, or you can have lower damage per second but more seconds because of health. Is really what it is there. So all right. Now, before we get away from here, I think Wreck and Rule actually had a 4-star lineup replay, so let's go ahead and go check out that replay. We haven't done any replays in a while, have we? Okay, so here we go. We've got Sentius, Magnus, Cup, Springer, Jetfire, Hotspot, Rust Dust, Tigerhawk, and Stormclash coming in here against somebody from the Unicron Alliance. Oh yes, we definitely have to kill the Grand Poobah, eliminate even the toughest stains. There goes Tigerhawk. I love my Tigerhawk, except if there's anti-air cores on those laser turrets, they'll take Tigerhawk or Swoop out before they even finish the first ability. So yeah, definitely need to be careful about what cores you have on there. But otherwise, you see how basically cleared out that entire center, and now he's going over for the second time. That's very similar to how I use my Tigerhawk, and just keep throwing him up there as long as he's not being sprayed by that anti-air laser power core. Oh, and he's got Sentius Magnus sniping from a distance. That's a pretty easy win. You might want to bump your zones up a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. It's probably about the same thing I would do too. The trouble is sometimes is you have one zone where you attack where you get easy wins like that, but if you go up to the next zone, it's practically impossible. So you do run the you do kind of get stuck in the middle sometimes there. Sharksy Grand Poobahs should die. You do realize that, of course, that was a line from the original Transformers movie. I'm sure. CPAS Transformers Earth Wars, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Let's see. Grand Galvatron is asking, who do you think has a higher chance at being in the game, Diatlas or Optimal Optimus? You know, I really couldn't say, because we have. I would say between those two, I would say Optimal Optimus has a higher chance of being in the game, only because we got a toy of him in the what was it, I can't remember the line. The Prime Power of the Primes. Yes, thank you, Brayshawn Baker. As I was thinking prime something, but yes, Power of the Primes. So yes, Optimal Optimus, I think, has the better chance between them, and I guarantee you most of the people in here probably are Diatlas. Who? And to be honest with you, I only know about Diatlas because of the IDW comics when he showed up in that one little Drift miniseries, and not much outside of that. I have no other knowledge of Diatlas outside of the IDW comics. Although I do have a third-party figure of him, which is quite excellent. Fans Project, I think. Di-Z or Di-Z. I guess it depends on how you pronounce that letter, the last letter of the English alphabet. I kind of like, even though in America you pronounce it Z, I do kind of like, at least for his name, calling it Di-Z. Yeah, Sharksy saying Diatlas was in Transformers Zone. Yeah, that's one of the... I really haven't watched any of the Japanese cartoons. Whether it was even the G1, like Victory or Zone or anything like that. About my only knowledge from that is maybe catching a wiki article or watching a basics video from Chris McFeely, who does outstanding videos on all sorts of different things. And yeah, I also kind of still have a gap in my Transformers knowledge in the Unicron trilogy with the Cybertron, Armada, and Energon, and I may not have even said them in the proper order. And, you know, like Beast Machines and stuff like that. You know, between Beast Wars and I'd say animated is a gap, because I haven't really had a chance to go back through and chase down all of those shows. I managed to watch Beast Wars because it was on Netflix at one point, and Transformers Animated, I can't remember. I may have actually bought the. I'm pretty sure I had the DVDs. I may have just heard that, you know, that this they had cool toys, because the animated line was ending right about the time I started getting back into Transformers. So I think I just took a chance on getting the DVDs and ended up with the Transformers animated series. So, Greg Gavatron saying never cared for Beast Wars. Yeah, Beast Wars is definitely one of those things where people either like it or they don't like it. I will tell you, Beast Wars, you gotta struggle through the first probably half of season 1. The first half of season 1, it was hard. I actually watched a few episodes and I'm like, oh, this is trash. And it was months before I went back and said, you know, everybody's talking about how great this is. I just need to push through it. Because it seemed like every episode in those first few episodes was nothing but an info dump. I swear, they would go for they would spend like 5 minutes talking. They'd go for a battle and spend the next 20 minutes just optimal, you know, Optimus Primal maximize, Rhinox maximize, Megatron terrorize. You know, it's like, geez, we get it. We know your names by now. The first time, sure, but they did seem to do it over and over and over again. Eventually, they quit doing it, and then they started getting good shows. But definitely, I can see how it wouldn't necessarily appeal to everybody. Brayshawn say we should have a brainstorm and 6-shot in an event called Brains and Brawn. That's an interesting thing. Although 6-shot would be hard because people would be wanting 6 modes, so 5 alternate modes, and then brainstorm wouldn't be a good one to pair with them. But I like your title idea though. Yeah, why not his son? Why not 6-shot's son? Quick Switch. It's interesting. Speaking of the basics, I just watched that the basics on Quick Switch the other day. I think it's been out a while, and probably was like second viewing or whatever. Apparently, the only reason why Quick Switch is known as 6-shot son is because it was mentioned in a commercial. There was a commercial for this Quick Switch toy where they mentioned that. So somebody says, "Look, it's Quick Switch, 6-shot son." Ooh, that's a tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast. But yeah, so there's not much out there about Quick Switch. Although I do happen to have his G1 toy. Not handy, but I do have it. It's still managed. That was from a kid. From a kid. I got it as a kid, and I still have it. So yeah, there you go, Grand Galvatron. No, wait, it's Quick Switch, 6-shot's son. And he's on our side. But I'm telling you, that's a tongue twister. Quick Switch, 6-shot son. How many takes did they have to do that to get that commercial out? Goodness gracious. Oh, man. What's my favorite Transformers TV show? Yes, I agree with you, Forehead. Transformers Prime, I would definitely say, is probably my top show. G1's definitely up there, but you know, the more you think about it, that's really more of a nostalgia thing. Some of the shows are actually pretty good. I love the Golden Lagoon episode. It's got that silliness in the middle there where all the Decepticons are all gold and they're all just shooting each other and it looks like a dance party. And but it's really the end that I think is the most poignant, where basically, you know, Beachcomber's sitting there after having found that it was like a paradise. You know, it was like a Disney movie, really. You had all the animals there, you sitting there, you know, talking bird to all the birds and talking deer to all the deers and everything. And it's paradise. But then everybody sees it, and the Autobots are there, and they have this big battle there, and then everybody goes away having, you know, they chased away the Decepticons, the Electrum, you know, the gold of the Golden Lagoon is all gone. And Beachcomber's sitting there, and he's just like, we won, as it pans out over utter devastation and destruction. So that kind of always gets me. They're just kind of weird there. But yeah, overall, definitely like Transformers Prime. And believe it or not, I'm actually a fan of the humans that they have in there are the best humans that have been in pretty much any Transformers series. I know some people are probably going to disagree with me, and I know a lot of people don't like her, but I like Miko. I think she's crazy. I think she's crazy good. I love when she ended up in that Apex armor and just kind of just tore right into the Decepticons. Made Starscream scream like a girl and run away and everything like that. It was just great. Let's see. Soundbot saying, don't like the graphics of the Beast Wars. Yeah, well, you got to remember, that was from the 1990s. Back during the time when Beast Wars was coming out, that was the best CGI out there. In fact, they won awards for that CGI. Looking at it from now, 25 years later, yeah, it's pretty dated, and you know, people do that like in their first year of computer graphics school. But at the time, that was the thing. I mean, I was just, you know, let's talk about some other things like Toy Story 4 is out. I don't know if you guys saw that. We're not going to talk any more about that, but I just want to point out, if you've seen that, you've seen how good that is. Go back and watch Toy Story, the first one from 1995. You'll see how different and dated that looks compared to some of the stuff that Pixar is putting out now. I mean, it still looks good, but you can definitely see where they've improved, even within the Pixar Toy Story movies. So that's basically the same kind of thing with Beast Wars versus Transformers Prime and other things that are CG nowadays. Let's see. I think I saw the Red Alert in here. Yeah, good to see you, buddy. How would they incorporate the Headmasters into the game? I don't think they're going to. In fact, we've got a couple of Headmasters in Skull Smasher, aka Skull Cruncher, and Mindwipe in the game now, and they're not Headmasters in the game. I really don't see the Headmaster gimmick coming into the game. In fact, I don't see any of the Master gimmicks, but Headmaster, Target Master, Power Master. I don't see any of those types of things coming into the game. If anything, it would just like a Power Master would be the same thing as like a Power Core. So I mean, if you're a fan of the Power Masters, just think of them as Power Cores. You know. Let's see. Jeremy Fields back after a long time. Good to see you. Life punching you around. I know the feeling, man. Life goes on. Got to get through it. You know, there are some days, some weeks where it's tough, but you just got to have something to look forward to. And I'll tell you now, this is what I look forward to. You know, so there are some Wednesdays where I've just got such a long rough day at work, just stress and busy. And I'm just so tired, but I'm like, no, I gotta do the stream. Because those days where even when I feel terrible and I come here and do this, I still here with you guys like for an hour, just talking and feel so much better afterwards. You gotta find something with you know. It doesn't have to be YouTube. It doesn't have to be streaming. But if you can find something that you can, you know, move towards, and it doesn't have to be something every day, but definitely just it goes on. You'll get through it. What two bots do I want to see in the game? Well, definitely I want to see Hoist. But you know, a lot of things are up to Hasbro, and if Hasbro's not really feeling Hoist at the moment, because we just had a Hoist in the Generations line, and you know, we can't have more than one Hoist in, you know, per decade. But other than that, honestly, I just like all the bots. I don't think there's any Transformers character that I dislike. Like I said, I haven't seen every series. And there's some that I just really love, and some of my favorites are already in the game. I love Lugnut. Lugnut, both the toy and even the character from Animated, just fantastic. And he's in the game. Yeah, I just, Impactor is a favorite of mine. And, honestly, I didn't know about Impactor as a kid. I didn't even learn about Impactor until probably Last Stand of the Wreckers. That's where I learned about Impactor. And oh my goodness, if you guys like Transformers and you haven't read Last Stand of the Wreckers, find it. It's probably in a library. Go check it out, read it. Last Stand of the Wreckers is, I would say, by far one of the best Transformers comic stories ever. At least that I've read. It's just great. Springer's in there, and it's excellent. One hoist per decade, Sharksy says. Grand Galvatron says it's the only IDW story I'll ever read. Yep. Soundbot saying, I wish Wheeljack and Ratchet would come to the Siege toy line. Pretty sure Ratchet has already been announced as usual. He's going to be a recolor of the Ironhide figure. Wheeljack, I don't remember if they've announced a Wheeljack, but I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Considering he was the first Transformer ever seen in the cartoon. In the very first episode, Wheeljack was it, and then Bumblebee. Thoughts on Apeface? I think he looks great. Never really had the toy, and he wasn't in the media that much. Just a very short season 4, where we saw the Headmasters and Target Masters be made, and then kind of the show ended. I realized there was the whole Headmasters show in Japan, but like I said, I really haven't followed up with any of the Japanese series. But from what I saw in the pictures, I think he looks great, and I like the fact that he's a Headmaster, true to the G1 roots. That was kind of my thing with the Titans Return line, where everybody's a Headmaster. You get a Headmaster. You get a Headmaster. Everybody gets a Headmaster. And it's like, okay, come on. I get that we're pushing the gimmick, but making Cup or Hot Rod Headmasters, we didn't really need that. But the fact that we got a Skull Cruncher named Skull Smasher, who and Mind Wipe, and Chrome Dome, Highbrow, all those guys, Brainstorm, these guys were Headmasters, and we got them as Headmasters. So I think that's great. But we didn't need a Headmaster Hot Rod. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So Apeface was indeed one of the Headmaster. In fact, it was one of the Headmaster triple changes. What? Just him and Snapdragon, I think. Yeah, Wolfwire. Yeah, I didn't list everybody because it probably would have been a long list, and well, I didn't really remember them off the top of my head either. But yeah, okay, here we go. We're listing them. Sharksy says Hardhead. Yes, he was a Headmaster. He was a Headmaster. Thanks, Logan. Yeah, Wolfwire was Weird Wolf. That's right. But, they got to change names for one reason or another sometimes. So, yeah, we don't have all day. Fire Ninjas Plays asks, what is the favorite movie and games of the Transformers? Well, my favorite game, obviously, is Fall of Cybertron. You guys thought I was going to say Transformers Earth Orders, right? It's definitely up there. Obviously, I wouldn't still be playing it and making videos on it 3 years later. But Fall of Cybertron, I mean, War for Cybertron first was excellent. Fall of Cybertron kicked it up just an extra notch and made it great. Devastation, not a super great, Transformers Devastation, the kind of cartoony one. It wasn't a super great game, but it was still a lot of fun to play. To be honest with you. But as far as mobile games go, Earth Wars is definitely the best. I've tried what's the other one that people always ask? Forged to Fight. It's okay. It's just not my style of game, And I've tried the Legends and some of the other stuff. I would say after Earth Wars, honestly, I think Angry Birds Transformers would probably be my second favorite Transformers series. And fun fact about Angry Birds Transformers, before I started doing Transformers Earth Wars videos, my most viewed video on YouTube was a silly little review that I did of those Angry Birds telepods. It was like a pack of 5 of them for, I don't know, 15 or 20 bucks. That it was just like a one step. It was a little car with a little Angry Bird head sitting out, and then you kind of like press on it and then it popped up, and it was still basically just on the wheels, and you could set them and your camera would look at like a little code on them, and I forget what it did. I think it would unlock a character or give like some kind of ability or whatever. But at the time, I wasn't even able to show that off because I mean it was only like my 3rd or 4th video, and then all of a sudden I get 20-some thousand views on it like almost instantly. I'm like, oh yes, I am awesome at this YouTube game. But then it was that was just a fluke. But yes, but yeah. Angry Birds Transformers was pretty fun. I haven't played it in a while, but it was pretty fun. Not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination, but it was definitely fun. Forged to Fight, I did one video on it. It's okay. The graphics are great. Just really not my style of game. Destroy Fire Rage is saying, should they add some emoji to the game? It's a calendar. I was a little small on my screen to be able to see it. Should they add a calendar to the game to get daily rewards? No, because then that would just be copying the China server. I think that, well, you know, they've said it before, and they're kind of right. You do get a daily reward in the free crystals. I know it's like, oh yeah, big deal, you get a free crystal. I mean, it is a daily reward, but so. I don't know. I play some games that have the calendar rewards. It's kind of nice, but you know, there's a lot of times you can still get junk in the calendar rewards. If you get good stuff all the time, then there's going to be no incentive to spend money for anybody, and then the game dies. Because you know, it's a fact of life. I know a lot of people try to say you know, such and such company is greedy. This company is greedy. That company is greedy, and to a point that may be true, but fact of the matter is, you got to pay your employees, you got to pay the electric bill, you got to buy the equipment for this. Excuse me, for you know, to run the game and stuff like that. That all costs money, and unless you saturate the game with advertisements to make the game practically unplayable, which I have seen and immediately deleted the game, then you got to have incentive for people to spend money. It's a fact of life, you know. So, and it's yeah, it is what it is, and there's really just no getting around it. That's just, but the fact that they allow people to play the game, you know, at no cost and still have a chance if you play the game a certain way, still have a chance to get some pretty good rewards by being in an alliance and stuff like that. It's still a pretty good thing. I mean, the other option would be to charge like $50 or $60 to download the game, and then just have just a limited amount of content. You're just going to get just those handful of bots that were at the beginning, and then that's it. You're not going to get new bots added. You're not going to be seeing all these events every time and things like that. You know, I will say the games that have kind of generally, it's been console games that I'm talking about, and I don't really play a whole lot of console much anymore, but those games where they do make you pay $60, and then they still have downloadable content that are the constant updates and charge and stuff like that, all the microtransactions. That I think is going a little too far. Where you know, it's like you get one or the other: big cost up front, and then no additional costs, no additional continuing costs to play the game, or free up front and then pay for extra. I think that's one of the reasons why Fortnite is so popular. And no, I have never played Fortnite. Again, not my style of game. But if I recall, that game's free, and they just charge for really cosmetic upgrades. It's not even a pay-to-win kind of game, which admittedly Transformers is kind of pay-to-win. But if I recall, Fortnite's not even that. I mean, everybody has the same fairness at 0 cost on Fortnite, and you just pretty much pay for skins, I think is how that works. Now that is, and obviously they're making a killing, so that model is still, that actually works. That business model works if you get it right. I mean, the thing that annoys me most about Fortnite is on the store shelves where there used to be Transformers, now there's Fortnite toys. That's the thing that annoys me most about Fortnite. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. So that's yeah. That's it. All right, guys. I think it's time to wrap it up. We've been going on for a little while, and it's been a lot of fun. I do appreciate all the questions. Fire Ninja's got another question. What's the favorite bot or bots? I've said it many times before, but you're new here, so I don't mind repeating it. My favorite bot is Hot Rod. Just, I don't know why. Just like Hot Rod. I go by Hoist because I knew Hot Rod is all popular for everybody, so it'd be hard to be a unique Hot Rod, but there's not a whole lot of Hoists out there, and Hoist is also a favorite of mine. So there you go. All right, and with that, we're gonna call it a wraps. Thank you everybody for being here, for being around for the news, for checking the crystal cracking, and hanging out for the 5-star crystal. We got Sludge from the Legacy 4, so it's time to be going and taking advantage of that triple XP this weekend to get him leveled up and get him to be extra powerful, and start saving up for the next one. And if you missed it, you can watch this replay back or keep your eye out. It'll probably be tomorrow. I'm actually going to post a separate video of just the 5-star opening, which we recorded live here. And with that, I'm going to do it. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.